All right. So here we are today. We're going to move on to the second precept. The second precept. Now, again, the precepts are not commandments, they're guidelines for growing our hearts. Every precept has an aspect of restraint and an aspect of cultivation. And notice as I read the precept, notice each of those, okay? So here we go. Aware of the suffering caused by greed, exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression. I undertake the training to not exploit others or any aspect of the environment, and form the intention to bring forth loving kindness and learn ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, and the natural environment. I undertake the training to practice generosity by sharing my time, my energy, and my material resources with those who are in real need. All right? So today I'd like to focus on the cultivation aspect of this practice. Our aim is to cultivate actually a sense of enoughness, of contentment with what we have. These mind states combat feelings of greediness because when we feel we have enough, when we're more likely to share and to be generous with ourselves and others. Western culture would have us believe that we won't be happy, that we won't have enough or feel enough unless we have the latest gadgets, fashions, and material goods. It tells us that we need certain things in order to feel good about ourselves, except that those things keep conveniently changing, which keeps us running after things. Western culture would have us believe that we should want more stuff, more power, more control, more autonomy. The result of this kind of mentality is that we never feel we measure up. We never feel we have enough or are enough. And so when occasions arise when we can take a little bit more or have a little bit more of what we want or need, sometimes with or without others knowing it, we do. How often do you tell the cashier that they've missed checking an item, right? Often we might just let it slide by and feel we've gotten away with just a little extra something. This is human nature. But my faith is restored in humanity when I see how neighbors rally after a big snowstorm and the power has been knocked out. How our neighbor with a snowblower will blow everyone's sidewalk, will clean everyone's sidewalk. And how our elderly neighbor, who died just a few years ago, was tended to for a number of years after his wife died by the kindness of his neighbors. These small acts of generosity are what restore my faith in fellow humans. But in everyday life, it's easy for us to get caught up in getting our own needs met. Mostly we're looking out for number one, ourselves. As a counterpoint to the consumerism and selfishness that we are subject to daily, I have an everyday practice of noticing and appreciating what is already here, what I do have, and not focusing too much on what I don't have. For example, all of us sitting here today have so many blessings to be grateful for. First of all of us woke up this morning. Really. I woke up this morning and before I got out of bed, I paused and noticed that I had woken up, that consciousness was here again. Second, our bodies, our minds, and our hearts are in relatively good working order, or we wouldn't be here. Now, this too is a small miracle. The body is able to move, the breath is still coming in, the heart is still beating, and the mind is already thinking and tracking what's happening. I didn't have to do a thing. Now, it won't always be so, but it is today. It is today. And so today I appreciate. Thirdly, none of us would be here if we didn't have the internet, if we didn't have a computer or a phone, and have the presence of mind to tune into something that uplifts our heart. Not everyone has the internet. Not everyone has a computer or a cell phone, but we do. Not everyone has the presence of mind to tune in to something that uplifts their heart, but we do. Now I'm just getting started. Most of us have what we need to live relatively comfortably. We have a roof over our heads. We have enough food. We have enough of the clothing that we need so we're not too hot or too cold. We have access to transportation, cars, buses, trains to get us where we need to go. We have conventional conveniences, microwaves, washers, dryers, coffee makers that make our morning coffee. Now, these may seem too ordinary to appreciate, but not everyone has easy access to these necessities for life or to the creature comforts that make our daily life a bit easier. We don't have to look very far to notice that we have more available to us than others. So I'd like to encourage all of us this month to take stock of what we do have, to give more attention to these things, and appreciate what is here. This counters the cultural pull of consumerism and selfishness that tells us we don't have enough or are not enough. For most of us, we have more than enough. And for many of us, we have grown beyond what our parents and grandparents could have ever imagined. Think about this. Imagine your ancestors were here today, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and they could see all that was available to you. Wouldn't they marvel at you in your life? Take that to heart. Take that in. It's to be appreciated. So this month we will work with this second precept and encourage all of you to take stock in what you do have, to appreciate the many blessings of having our basic needs met, to appreciate the creature comforts that are near at hand. This is how we cultivate that sense of enoughness and how we relax into a sense of contentment. We can do this. It's for our welfare. It's for our welfare. So, thank you for your kind attention. And now, with kind eyes, please gently turn the attention to the body and open up the body as much as it is able to this morning. Maybe take your arms, reach them over your head, grasp the wrists, and maybe gently pull and reach to one side. Take a nice full inhalation there, opening up the side of the body. And gently clasp the other wrist and lean to the other side. And take a nice full inhalation and open up the other side body. Be gently just opening up the shoulders. I like to do a few shoulder circles. And what we are doing is we're preparing the soil. We're preparing ourselves for sitting still as comfortably as we can. Now, if you will, take one hand and gently put it on the opposite knee. Turn and take a nice big inhalation in the twist. Feeling down into the hips. And then turn and place the other hand on the opposite knee. And in that twist, taking a nice full inhalation. Opening up, exhaling, and feeling into the base of the body. Coming out of the twist and maybe gently rocking the upper body around atop the lower body. Settling into comfort and ease. And right here, maybe gently closing the eyes and turning the attention squarely to the interior. Draw the attention down to the base of the body. If you're standing, feel into the feet and feel into balance atop the feet. If you're sitting, feel the buttocks and the legs and balance the weight out. On the next inhalation, and draw the attention all the way up through the torso, from the base of the spine all the way through the torso, the neck to the top of the head. And then again on the exhalation, soften, widen, and settle all the way down through the torso into the base onto the ground. Here, feel the body sitting here. Now gently tune into the rhythm of breathing. Breathing in, opening up the interior. Breathing out, softening and settling all the way down. Keep allowing the tensions to soften and relax as much as possible. Soften the face, the shoulders, the hands, the belly. How might you invite some warmth into the atmosphere? Maybe you might imagine that a dear friend is sitting across from you, and as you gaze at their face, there's a sense of ease that washes over the whole of you. Or sitting in your favorite spot in nature. And now, for the next little while, let's form the intention to stay out of the thinking mind and to keep coming back into the whole of the organism and let it soften and settle right here in the present moment. Offer that to yourself. Keep it simple. Keep coming out of the thinking mind and down into the whole body, and allow the tensions to soften and relax just by breathing with them and making room. And in the last few minutes of the meditation, take attention and pass it through the whole of the organism and notice whatever ease is available to you right now. Breathe and appreciate the experience of ease, whatever is available. This is appreciating what is here. And finally, drop in the awareness of context. All of us sitting here with you and you sitting here with us. Each of us making room for ourselves and each other. And breathe with the blessing of that. Thank you so much for your practice. Thank you for joining us today.